I chose the worst time to record this video. I think we have a synagogue, no, a mosque. There's a mosque right next to this building, and I think it's time for prayer. What's up guys, Tino here. So this video has two sections. First, I will talk about focus on my face. This video has two sections. First, I'm going to talk about why you want to do an internship before you graduate, a young motivation. And then lastly, I'm going to discuss where you can find the internships, the different platforms you can try to use to find these internships. Okay, let's get started. Even entry-level positions, they might not explicitly ask for work experience, but they will implicitly expect it through the questions they ask you in the interviews. The best responses you can give in an interview come from personal experience and not from theoretical knowledge. It turns out the best knowledge comes from outside the classroom, and as a consequence, employers are obsessed with work experience. I feel like that's enough motivation. So, where do you find the internships? Start with your university's career center. Most universities will have some sort of careers department or society or whatever that helps students find jobs after they graduate, find internships, bursaries, that kind of thing. These guys will usually have a website where they post job listings of internships that most students in that university would qualify for. I don't know about other universities, but UCT Career Center has this handbook they release every year, which has a massive list of companies in South Africa from all different departments, from engineering to science to agriculture, whatever. This list also shows which companies are offering bursaries and what the requirements are for those bursaries, what kind of students they're looking for, that kind of thing. I love this list. It's especially important for non-South Africans who are not familiar with South African industries, and it's a very nice way to get started with knowing what's out there in your industry. The best part about this handbook is you don't have to be a UCT student to get access to it. So I've left a link down in the description of the latest version of this book. Have a look and you're gonna find lots of different companies and lots of information about what these companies do and what they're looking for. So moving on, careers fairs. I'm pretty sure all universities have some sort of careers fair where companies come to the university and basically advertise themselves. So make sure you attend those. I got most of my internships from these types of events, and don't just limit it to your university. These conventions also take place outside the university. Keep an eye out for careers fairs and conventions, tech conventions in your industry around your area. Job sites like LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed. These are websites where companies post job listings and then people go there to apply for job listings. Now, these guys usually don't post internships, but it's worth a shot. You might be able to find something interesting there. And lastly, plugs will always be the best way to find jobs. This is your professional network, by the way. So talk to your uncles, talk to your fathers, your mothers, your friends, your cousins, your friends from other universities, people you have worked with before, everyone that has some sort of connection to your industry. Talk to them. They might know something or a company that's hiring, and and that's it. That's pretty much all the avenues that I use when I'm looking for a job. Now, if you're watching this video, there's a very good chance you've done all of the above and yet you are still jobless. Wow, the biggest hurdle, the biggest challenge that you'll face when you're looking for an internship is ignorance. Thing is, there are so many companies out there that you probably qualify for. You will probably enjoy working for them. They probably pay way better than the big companies out there. These are startups. These are smaller companies with a very small workforce, companies that are not officially hiring. This is especially true for the tech industry, engineering industry, and even the science industry. I can't speak for other fields because, ignorance. The main reasons that you don't know of these companies are: one, they put very little effort into advertising for job positions, especially towards students. Business owners have plenty of reasons why they would choose not to spend their money on recruiting students. Two, there are companies that have very specific niches and clientele, and as a consequence, you would never come across these companies unless you are specifically looking for them or what they do. A good example is a company I once interned at called Electrum. It's a fintech company. You've probably never heard of them, but you've most probably used their services. 3, such companies do not advertise at your specific university or in your specific area. Yes, there are companies out there that only hire from UCT. There are companies out there that only hire from the universities closest to them. So they would never ever reach out to anything beyond that. The debate for why they do this is for another video, but they do that. Now, they don't restrict their hiring to those universities, but if you're not in that university, then that job will never come to you. And 4, you only focus on the big companies or the well-known companies when you are looking for an internship, and you ignore the lesser known startups and the small companies and the whatevers because you assume they don't pay well, or whatever assumptions you make. So how do you fight this ignorance? Well, the only way we fight ignorance these days: Google. Educate yourself about your industry, about the different roles you can take in your industry, what's available, what's out there, what companies are hiring in your industry, what companies that aren't in your industry but hire people in your industry. Good example is banks. They hire everyone. Make use of that UCT careers book just to look at all the different companies that are in South Africa. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of companies in SA. If you're in tech, make sure to check out a video I made a few months ago on the different types of careers you can pursue if you have an IT degree. Now, unless a company explicitly says they're not hiring, you can safely assume they are hiring and submit your application. Now, it differs with each company, but usually I'll try to get in contact with their HR department, whoever is in charge of hiring. Have a cover letter, motivate yourself, tell them what you're looking for, what you have to offer, and then ask them if they have anything they can offer you in terms of an internship or a project. If I left out anything, make sure to leave a comment. I am only speaking from my experience. I would love to hear from your experience. What have you done to get internships whilst you're studying? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way YouTube will know that you enjoyed the video and it will show it to other people it thinks will enjoy the video. Make sure to check out this video here. YouTube is confident you're going to like that one. If you've watched that one, maybe check out this one here or this one. If you've watched all this content, you might as well subscribe, eh? Click on this button here. Okay, you have a good day. Ha!